Hey everybody. I'm happy to talk about just about anything that has to do with living life, running a practice, growing a practice, marketing, like you name it. Anything that comes to that, if there's something I can share that has worked for me or helped me or will help you, I'm totally happy to share. So I want you guys to feel free to post your thoughts or comments in this, either as you're watching it or after. I really want to know what you think. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about because it's a new year, right? 2024, which means new goals, new ambitions, new excitement for whatever this year is going to bring. And I hope that you have all of those things. If you caught my video last week, I spoke about self-care. It seemed like a very fitting way to end the year and how vitally important it is that we actually take care of ourselves. And I know that we all know logically, like our thinking brain knows that taking care of ourselves is a really good idea. And there are many, many, many reasons why sometimes we fail hard at that or struggle with consistency. One of the big ones is that taking care of ourselves, be that with getting enough sleep, doing a daily meditation, eating well, exercising, journaling, spending enough time doing your hobbies, any of those things, is that it's often not our current habit. We aren't currently doing many of the things that we know we should be doing consistently. So it's new when we're trying to do that. And there are some strategies that you can use to make it more likely that this new thing that you know is good for you, that you know you should be doing, will actually stick. And so today what we're talking about is how you actually go about forming new habits. Because we're trying to do this all of the time. And there's probably some areas that you've been super successful and some where you've tried and tried and tried and failed and failed and failed. And we're going to talk about why that happens today and then some strategies you can try to see if you can actually get it to stick this time. So before I dive into the meat of this training, if you haven't set some goals for yourself for your self-care for this year, you really should. I don't love calling it a New Year's resolution, but of course at the top of any year, at the beginning of any year, we think about what we want that year to look like. So it makes sense that at this time of year, we'd be talking about this kind of stuff. You are absolutely worth it. I want you to remember that. You are worth spending time on yourself and setting some goals for yourself, right? Taking care of you. If you do that, everything in your life is easier. Work is easier, parenting is easier, relationships are easier, like everything is easier if you can take care of you. So if you haven't sat down and thought a little bit about how you're going to take care of yourself better this year, please do that, okay? Please take the time to do that. So we're going to start at the foundation because we always have to start at the foundation. It is difficult to build anything unless we have a strong foundation. And the foundation when it comes to building new habits is actually your beliefs. Because you will never change anything that you are doing day to day. So you'll never add anything new and have it stick unless you ensure that your beliefs are in line with that and are going to help you get there. And the best way for me to explain this to you is to illustrate it with an example. Let's say that you know, logically, that you should be getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. You logically and scientifically understand that you work optimally with this amount of sleep. So I want you to think about this. If just knowing that was enough, you would consistently get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night. So why is it that for many women, including myself, this is something that we fail at? And maybe not just this, but many other good for you habits that we're trying to create. Well, this is why. You have an underlying false belief that trumps what you know intellectually. I'm not sure what yours is. I can't read mine, so I don't know what your false belief is. But mine might sound something like this. Yes, I know I need more sleep, but when the kids go to bed, there is so much that I have to get done, and that means I can't go to bed early enough to get enough sleep. My false belief is that there are things that I must do or get done or finish or accomplish, and that those things are more important than me getting enough sleep. You can see how that false belief will derail my desire and knowledge that I really need to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. For some people, identifying the false belief is super easy. So that is one for me that is really easy to find. But sometimes it's very difficult to figure out what that underlying false belief is that keeps derailing you. For me, I generally get to that false belief through some journaling because that is the way that I internally reflect really well. But do whatever works for you to see if you can figure out what your underlying false belief is. So now that I know this, before I'll be able to consistently go to bed early enough to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, I need to solve or change this false belief that I have. Because currently, the false belief is trumping what I know to be true. So for me, since this is a true story, it meant spending time on systems for time management so that I could get more done before we actually got to the evening every day, so that there would not be the pressure to stay up late to finish all the things before I went to bed. And it meant changing how I was using my time a little bit by delegating some things, eliminating some things, changing when I did certain things. And really, for any and all self-care activities where you struggle to do that activity consistently or at all, you for sure have an underlying belief that is the key to solving this. So I really want you to think about this and spend some time here because it's worth it. Because once you deal with the foundation of your beliefs, you can actually then just move straight on to practical strategies for implementing new habits, which is what we're going to talk about next. Because once your beliefs align with the actions you want to take, then you just need some help in doing it in the best and easiest way to make it stick. Because now your beliefs align with your actions. Many of you have probably heard of the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a good one. It's not the only one on habits, but I like it. And he gives some practical tips in there. I'm not going to cover everything he covers here, but I really recommend it if you want to dig deeper into the whole topic of building habits. So I have 6 strategies for you today, ladies, on ways to get habits to stick. First strategy, start small. Let's say you've decided you want to exercise daily. And right now, maybe you manage to exercise 1 or 2 times a week on a good week. So if you start with stating that your goal would be to exercise 45 minutes, 7 days a week, that would be really hard. That is a very big change. So instead, if you're thinking start small, maybe you commit to 10 minutes of moving your body every single day. And once you have created that as a habit, you start to extend it or stretch it or change it or adjust it as you need to at that point. You're more likely to succeed with 10 minutes of body movement a day than 45 minutes of exercise every day, right? So think about little tiny small goals first and build on them. Strategy number 2, set clear written goals. I scream this from the rooftops all the time. I feel like I'm always saying, write it down, write it down, write it down. I'm going to continue to say that. Anything you want to accomplish, you should write down. So decide what new habit you want to create. Please pick one. Don't try to change 14 things at once. It doesn't work. And write it down. I also really like to put that goal that I want to accomplish somewhere visible so that I can see it more often. Maybe on my nightstand, maybe on my bathroom mirror, maybe in my car, somewhere so I can see it more often. Strategy number 3, you're going to need to create some accountability for yourself. You have to find ways to hold yourself accountable. One really good way to do this is to share your goals with friends or family members that you think would be supportive and encouraging towards that goal. I use my husband for this. And he, every day these days, asks me, did you do your stretches? Because I've told him I want to do them every single day, right? I also like to do a check-in with myself because I can hold myself accountable. I can have other people do it, but I also can hold myself accountable. And so I do a daily check-in with myself, and it's a quick reflect on the day. I usually do it at the end of the day when I'm brushing my teeth, because I brush my teeth every night. And I ask, how did it go? Did I do the things I said I was going to do? Did I, let's say, drink my 8 glasses of water, and did I do my stretches? And if not, why not? What tripped me up? And then I recommit to myself, and I keep going. Strategy number 4, as I just alluded to, attach it to an existing habit. This is my favorite strategy because if you have anything in your world right now that is a habit for you, that could be exercise, that could be meditation, that could be journaling. I mean, that could be many good things you're doing already. If you have something that's already a habit, you want to tie your new habit to that thing. I think I can safely assume that all of us brush our teeth every morning and every night. So can you tie a good for you new habit, something self-care, to one of those times? As an example, maybe you've decided you want more gratitude and happiness and fulfillment in your life, so you're going to start doing a gratitude journal. Just 5 minutes a day, you're going to write down 3 things that you're grateful for. Well, maybe you tie that to your evening toothbrush or your morning toothbrush, whatever is the best time of day for you. And right after you brush your teeth, you spend 5 minutes writing down the things you're grateful for. It's always easier to tie something to something you're already doing than to just try to plop something new into the middle of your day. Strategy number 5, celebrate. Many of you who've been in the group for a while hear me talk about celebration. We don't celebrate enough. Nobody really does. Women don't for sure. We really need to take time to celebrate ourselves when we're successful and to find a way to reward ourselves if we know that's motivating. I love to reward myself because I find that incredibly motivating. I am just like a toddler. So maybe that means that when you're first starting to implement a new habit, you reward yourself every day. You know, if you drink your 8 glasses of water today, then every night after dinner, you get your Lindt chocolate truffle ball. Ooh, that would be a good reward. And so you need to pick things that will motivate you. And then maybe once it becomes a habit or starts to become a habit, you maybe reward yourself weekly or monthly, right? If rewards work for you, do it. For some people, all you need is some kind words, right? Kind words to yourself can do amazing things. Give yourself a pat on the back. Recognize that you did something that you wanted to do and you were successful. You don't always need someone else to celebrate you. Yes, other people in your world may do that, but you can celebrate the crap out of yourself. Why not? Celebration keeps you motivated, and we skip it all the time because I don't know if it feels like a waste or a waste of time or it seems silly to celebrate ourselves, but it's not silly to celebrate you. So celebrate you. The last strategy I'm going to give you is using technology to your advantage. I don't really care if you're just using your phone or a calendar app or a habit tracking app or a time blocking app or whatever, but tech can help you create new habits. Set alarms. Schedule things into your day as an appointment. Have reminders popping up and binging on your phone, whatever it takes, whatever you think will work best for you. Use technology to your advantage. Leverage this. We are all walking around with computers in our pocket, like literally 24/7. So use that to help you integrate new habits. I have one warning for you before I let you go. We've talked about beliefs, and I think that's the key to getting new habits to stick. But many of us fail at our goals that we set because the second we fail, we quit. We give up. We call ourselves a failure. Our negative self-talk comes in and we're like, screw it, I'm out. I can't do this. I want to leave you with a message about failure. New things are hard to do. New habits are hard to implement and hard to get to stick, and you will fail. Everyone fails. The path to success is through failure. I'm going to say that one more time. The path to success is through failure. This was a really hard lesson for me, but it changed absolutely everything. Failure is simply a sign that you are one step closer to success. To truly live this, you may have to work on increasing your ability to have self-compassion. So create a plan for yourself. What will you do or say to yourself the first time you fail at this new habit you're trying to create? Right? Plan for what you know is going to happen. Step into this knowing you're going to fail some days. That's okay. That's part of the journey. That is a stepping stone on the path to success. Ultimate success comes from learning from the failure, getting back up, and trying again, and doing it over and over and over again until you have succeeded. The only true failure is in literally quitting, right? Not trying again. It's that easy. So I'm hoping that this gives you some hope and some motivation. Maybe you're excited a little bit about the things you're going to do for yourself in 2024. And I want to hear all about what your self-care goals are. So leave me a comment here, make a post in the group, whatever that might be. Tell me how you're going to take care of you in 2024. And I'll see you next week for a lesson. Have a great day, everybody.